go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone.
That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives by this point of pale light.
We shall prevail.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Welcome to the Internet Space Program.
Hey everyone. GM.
Hey, GM. Pablo, how's it going?
How you doing, Ryan?
Good, good. Got folks tuning in. What's up, Lou? Hey, everybody in chat. Be sure to like, share, get the word out. We're excited to be here today for a conversation with Dr. Eiman Jahangir, our second astronaut, almost on the 2-year anniversary of his flight to space with Blue Origin. And yeah, leading the combo will be then Frank White.
Yeah, Frank has interviewed Eiman before, but what's new is Eiman's got his new book, and by the way, it's on the marketplace, and you can get a signed copy through the MoonDAO marketplace. So check it out. If after this conversation you're curious to get Eiman's book, head right on over there. And I believe I saw this morning that it's in the bestsellers list on Amazon. So
yeah, spot number 4 or something on Amazon. That's awesome to see. And yeah, I think there's like 5 days left on the little sale that Eiman has up there with a pre-signed or a signed copy of the book and some other little extras for MoonDAO community members. So if you haven't picked it up, you can still do so for a few more days on the marketplace to get in on this early initial sales push.
Yeah. Okay, so quick agenda before we bring Eiman and Frank up. So we're going to do the conversation, and then afterwards there is a proposal. So we'll be reviewing an update to the project system, which is our grant system, which we run every quarter. Just a few updates to make some of the operations a little bit simpler, and we'll dive into that when it's time. But for now, yeah, we can bring up Eiman and Frank and get moving.
Cool. Yeah, we'll have some other updates from governance things besides the new project proposal. But yeah, let's bring up Eiman and Frank. Hey guys, gentlemen, how's it going?
Hello.
Good to see you.
It's good to be here. Thank you all for having me on again. Frank, thank you for being here. I know we didn't know if you were going to be here or not, so it's exciting to have you here.
Yeah. No, I wasn't scheduled to be here, but we'll explain at the end, I think, why I'm here and not there. But for now, I think I'd like to get into your book and talk about that. Yeah, there it is.
Sounds good. Yeah, you see I'm marking things because I got to do a reading tomorrow at a book signing in Nashville. So
great.
Awesome. Well, I'll leave you guys to it. I'm going to jump off here.
Okay.
Take it away, guys.
So you're in Huntsville now, right?
I am. I'm doing a book signing tonight at their beer garden event, which starts at 5 p.m. But I drove down early so I could be on this. And then I also have my parents with me and dropped them off at a mall. So I'm like, a parent to teenage kids.
So we only have about half an hour. So let's dive in. So first of all, congratulations on your climb on the bestseller list at Amazon. That's not easy to do.
Thank you, Frank.
Yeah, it's terrific. And you've been doing a great job, I think, of promoting the book. You've been out there and letting people know it's available, and that's important. That's critical. So, yeah, I'd like to start with a question about writing the book. First of all, I do want to say I've read the book, and it's terrific, and everyone should read it. And I had to read the book because I wrote the foreword.
Yeah.
But I was honored to do that, and I really got a lot out of reading the book. But you know, you've done a lot with your life, and you became a doctor, you became a Blue Origin astronaut. Now you're an author.
Ooh.
What was more challenging of
Well,
the?
I'll tell you, I mean, becoming a doctor and finding my way to space were both took just as long. Finding a way to space was probably less likely to happen. But trying to sell books is probably the hardest thing I've ever done. I mean, writing your thoughts down is one thing, but then trying to get people interested enough to go out and read that story is a different.
Yeah, it's like the tree falling in the forest. If nobody knows or hears it, did it make a sound? And there are a lot of great books that have been published and never read.
Yeah.
So marketing is critical. You know, I was honored to have lunch with Michael Collins, Apollo 11 astronaut, at the 20th anniversary of Apollo 11. And when I started my research, his book, Carrying the Fire, was really the first indication that I was on to something with the overview effect. So anyway, I'm sitting there having lunch with Michael Collins. You know what we talked about? How to sell books. How to sell books. Because I remember what he said to me. He said it's one thing to write a book, it's another to sell it.
Yeah.
So
well, and as you know, Frank, I mean, I'm fortunate because I was able to interview 8 different people in this book, included Jared Isaacman. And I think when you then involve other people and put their stories in your book, you really want it to do something, because, you know, at minimum, they might be looking to see, oh, how'd that book do I was in?
Actually, that was a question I wanted to ask you. You know, I think having interviews in there is a big deal. It really does bring a lot of color and interest to the book. Does anything from any one interview stand out for you? A couple of interviews that really gave you insight in some way?
I mean, I think the overall kind of takeaway I took from it is that all of these people had some sort of passion or desire for flight or space flight, much like probably everyone here at MoonDAO. No one really, they didn't necessarily think they were going to be an astronaut. I mean, some of them specifically said, you know, I knew I couldn't be an astronaut because of X, Y, or Z. But that initial passion and drive, I think, was really what set them down the path that reached, you know, that they were able to reach space, which is pretty incredible. I really enjoyed, I mean, I did like Jared Isaacman's interview because I don't think he's done a lot of like sit down book interviews yet, but he's got a unique perspective on excellence. And this is for a guy who dropped out of high school. And yet when you talk to him, you can tell that he really feels that if you're going to do something, you need to do it with like your whole.
Aha. The gremlins have struck. I think, you know, I think
we lost Eiman.
I think he was going to say you have to do it with your whole self. I just want to build on what he was saying. I just think, you know, a lot of the headlines that I read about Jared Isaacman said billionaire becomes head of NASA or billionaire funds spaceflight.
Hey, I'm back.
Sorry, yeah.
Someone called me on my phone because my laptop was working, and then it just kicked me off. I am so sorry.
No, that's okay.
Jared Isaacman, really, you can tell that everything he does, he tries to do like to his like the best of his capabilities. Like if you're going to take on a project, then do it with passion and do it, you know, which I thought it's a good point, because a lot of us end up doing things and we might not be foolhardily involved, and then you just don't get the results that you want. So you really should do things, with fervor.
I was saying while you were briefly away, I think the headlines shouldn't have been billionaire funds spaceflight or billionaire becomes head of NASA. I think it should have been high school dropout funds spaceflight or takes over at NASA. And we don't want to encourage anybody to drop out of high school or drop out of college, or even don't drop out of kindergarten. Okay. But, you know, what I'm getting at is if you had thought about it, I mean, if one had thought about what's the likelihood of a high school dropout becoming head of NASA,
Yeah.
you would have said the probability is less than 1%.
Yeah. 1% of 1%.
Yeah.
0.001%.
Yeah. So it takes me back to a key message or two. I'd like to kind of get at some of the key messages in your book, because I think one of them has to do with commitment and overcoming self-doubt. Would that be accurate?
Oh, absolutely. I think we all often think maybe we're not good enough. I mean, even the best of us probably feel that way. Even Johnny Kim, who I heard today is retiring from NASA, they announced today. Yeah, they just announced it. I'm sure even he had self-doubt, right? But it's that idea of knowing that the path you're on is right, and knowing that there are going to be speed bumps, failures, and that's okay. And it's okay to doubt yourself. But just getting up is what makes you a champion, or what makes you succeed. It's that even when you feel self-doubt, getting back up and moving forward.
So would one of your, I mean, I think one of the key things I want people to know about your book, maybe you don't want to be an astronaut, and maybe you don't care about space exploration and all of that, but do you want to read an inspiring story with a message of hope and hold on tight to your dream, as the song goes? Can you talk about that? I mean, you had plenty of setbacks. You started, some might say you started with a deficit.
Yeah.
We're fleeing from bombs, literally, coming to America from Iran. How did you do it? I mean, you must have had self-doubt. And how did you do it? Because what you've accomplished, some people would say, if I could only be an author, I'd be happy, or only be a doctor, I'd be happy. But you've done that and more. So what happened?
I mean, and I would say I still have self-doubt. You know, it's like putting this book out. I'm like, when someone reads it, I'm like, what'd you think? Was it good? Was it is this terrible? Like, was it a waste of time? I think it's normal to have self-doubt. That probably drives us to try to improve. And with certain things like being an astronaut, every aspect of that would probably, or every rational thought would be that you should have self-doubt, that the likelihood of it happening is so low that you should probably start from a place of, all right, I'm going to do this, but like, it's probably not going to happen. And maybe that's a defense mechanism, right? In that case.
Yeah.
I think doubt is just a normal part of the human process, particularly when we're trying to chase things beyond what we think is possible, right? If we did all those things if we did the day-to-day that we know we can do, then there's going to be no self-doubt. But as soon as you start reaching for something out of your comfort zone, that self-doubt is a good sign that you're on the right path. You just can't let it hold you back.
Yeah. So would you advise people in your book, and also now people that are listening, you know, it's okay to question yourself, but as long as it doesn't stop you from taking one step after another towards your goal, would that be what you're saying?
That is what I'd be saying. I'd say it's 100% normal to question yourself, and if you're on the right path, but the key is to just move forward, and then, you know, be flexible. So if something seems like it's not working and you need to do something else, then take that fork in the road. You don't have to be so committed to, you can be, I think Jeff Bezos said it. He said, we are strict on the results, but flexible on the path, something like that, right? Like your goal can be, you want to learn to play guitar, but how you get there might be a circuitous route, and that's okay. And you have to be open to that.
We just had a comment, I think it's from Arobidos, saying that you're an inspiration for me and all, Dr. Eiman.
Thank you. Very kind of you.
Jahangir. Can we talk about that? Because I think for many of us who've drunk the Kool-Aid, we do see spaceflight as mostly being about inspiring others and ourselves. And Cyan Proctor, her motto is "Space to Inspire."
Yeah.
And you have some history with her. Talk about that. I mean, do you find that having done what you've done inspires others, and that gives you a sense of accomplishment?
Well, first off, shout out to Cyan. Her and I were interviewed together in 2008 and were finalists together in 2009. So we spent a lot of time together, became close friends. And honestly, in 2021, when she got picked to do Inspiration 4, that was like almost the kick I needed to be like, all right, we can do this with commercial space. So she truly inspired me in a very meaningful way. But yeah, I mean, a space flight, particularly if you're talking suborbital, is, 15 minutes maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that fulfilled something I needed within myself, a goal I'd set out for myself. But like, I was hoping that that wouldn't be the end. I was
Mm-hmm.
hoping, how could I use that experience and my experience and try to motivate people to do amazing things themselves. And that started from like speaking at schools, speaking at professional conferences. And then I realized, oh, a book would be an easier, maybe not easier, but it would be another way to reach more people and hopefully inspire them to do that thing that they want to do. But yeah, I mean, space remains aspirational, and it remains inspiring for so many of us because there's still been less than 800 humans who have ever gone to space.
Yeah. And when you were talking earlier about you and Cyan being in the finalists, you were finalists or close to becoming NASA astronauts, right?
Very close, yeah, very close.
Yeah.
I think down to like 47 people, and they took 8 or 9 that year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That must have been a deep disappointment for you to get. I mean, it's kind of like in baseball, which is a sport I follow. You'd rather kind of lose 15-2 than 4-3.
Yeah.
Because 15-2 is like, well, we never had a chance. 4-3, you remember every error, every at bat. But talk about getting so close.
Yeah, and I wonder if I hadn't gotten so close the first time I applied, if I would have put this dream to the side. You don't know, but when you get that close, you're like, okay, NASA thinks I have the right stuff, almost, almost have the right stuff. And honestly, 2013 was harder because I made it to the finals again. This time from 6,700 people, and I was like, surely they're gonna pick me this time. They brought me back to the finals, and that was it. That was the last time I got close, with NASA. Yeah, I mean, it sucks to be that close and lose it, right?
Yeah.
The way I look at it is there must have been a reason for it. NASA was not the path I was supposed to go down. It definitely would have been harder for my family and my wife. Uh, it would have been harder on so many different levels to have become a NASA astronaut. So yeah, I wish I had become one, but I'm grateful for the path I was able to take. Obviously, this was the path I was meant to take.
Can we talk a little bit before we come close to the end? Can we talk about the family a bit? Because this is a topic that's coming up more and more, both in regard to NASA and commercial astronauts, and certainly in the Netflix series about Jared's flight, Inspiration 4. You definitely got a sense that nobody who goes on a space flight, nobody can do it without their family being involved emotionally and otherwise. So can you speak a little bit to that and what it means?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most obvious thing is spaceflight remains dangerous. There's a chance you could die going up or coming down, and for what benefit, I guess, right? So like, if you die in an explosion, you leave your family here, and that's devastating for everyone, right? It impacts so many different people. As we've seen with NASA tragedies, right, with the Columbia and Challenger explosions and Apollo 1. But beyond that, there's so much that goes into these dreams and these pursuits, particularly with NASA. If you become a NASA astronaut, you're assigned a mission, you're spending a lot of time away from your family that final year of training, that you have to have a spouse who in a lot of ways treats it like being in the military, right? Like a military family where you're going to be gone And that's not easy. I mean, for anyone who's raised kids, it's much easier when you have two parents kind of doing it than when one parent, just by nature of hands on deck and things like that, right? So
Yeah, so I think the message is one part of getting ready for a space flight is making sure your family is okay with it and supportive. Yeah. I'm not sure everybody really calculates that into their plans fully. As you know, I think I had a prenup with my late wife, Donna, that kind of sealed the deal because I said I have one request. And she asked me what it was. I said, if I get to go to space, you won't stand in my way. And at the time in the early 90s, she thought, sure, why not? That's fine. And actually, she never really had to put up with the possibility. But I did compete for Inspiration 4 and Dear Moon. And so I was in the struggle or in the fight, as it were. And she had to stay true to that agreement, and she did. I give her credit for that. So, what challenge are you looking at now? I mean, okay, I know right now you're in the middle of the book, and that's where you got to focus. But do you have some thoughts about after your book becomes a big bestseller and you've done that?
I will say, it's hard. So I do have a big kind of like research paper coming out too that will hopefully be done. At least draft 1 will be submitted in October. I'm sure I'll get revisions, and that'll probably take up the next 3 months, right? I'm giving myself a break, hopefully, until January, and then I think I need, like when you achieve things and you're constantly running, you have to remember to sometimes maybe take a step back. And I think it's going to be time to take a step back and decide what's next. I enjoy speaking to people, so I'm hoping to keep growing that. I have my day job as a doctor where I'm helping people. I would love for anyone who reads my book to give me their comments and feedback and let me know what they think. And if they buy it on Amazon, to leave a review, because all of that helps. But I don't know what the next thing is, Frank. I wish I did. I'll probably apply to NASA one more time, though. I think, as we've discussed before, I'm probably aging out. I'm 46 years old this month. I don't think I'll be writing another book. Not anytime soon, at least. And I would love to keep staying involved in the space industry. I do think in 2021, when it started, we were all very excited. There's a lot of things happening. Blue Origin, Virgin, SpaceX with their Dragon. We now see SpaceX is going to retire the Dragon at some point. Blue Origin has paused their New Shepard program, which to me means it's done. Virgin Galactic is hopefully going to start flying suborbital flights again within the year. So a lot of this activity contracted. I mean, Starship is still a work in progress. So I feel like there was like a boom in 2021, and then like 2024, 2026, it's kind of like we had a dip. And I'm hoping 27, 28, we start seeing some like real movement forward again. That there'll be opportunities to work in the space industry in a way that makes sense for me, which I used to think I wanted to work in the space industry, and I did that with Blue Origin for 6 months. It was an awesome job. But I really think my future is being a clinical physician and then consulting or advising groups that are doing cool things in space. And I think that's probably where my future is in the space sector.
I mean, the ultimate dream, I think, is to move beyond missions to migration, or beyond missions to large-scale movement of humanity off of planet Earth, which will be good for planet Earth if we can get some of the very demanding civilization we've created off of this ecosystem. I think that is a future we should embrace, and we're going to need people like you and Gretchen Green, and we're going to need doctors, and ideally at this point in the early days, we're going to need doctors who have flown.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, just so I want to close. I'm not a doctor, but I, I hope I have something to offer to the movement. And I do want to thank you because you're one of the astronauts who has been really supporting me on my flight. Just curious, why are you supporting my flight? What's that
Yeah.
all about, Eiman?
I mean,
Appreciate
Frank,
it.
first off, you're an inspiration to me because I've always told myself my orbital flight will happen sometimes before I'm 80. And I know that you've approached 80 and you're going to have this suborbital flight, which I think is great. But I think, I mean, there's a lot of reasons to support you, Frank. It's pretty straightforward. One is, I mean, you're an excellent human being, and I want to support people who are good humans that want to go to space, right, for the right reasons. Obviously, you've thought about this, and this has been part of your professional life for decades. And so I do tend to agree. Then who else but Frank are you going to send to space? It makes the most sense. I love the idea of the research aspect of it that you guys have worked into the proposal, which includes the AI piece of the overview effect, which I think is incredible. And as you said, I think while you're an inspiration to me, I think that sending someone like you to space, while we have the opportunity, it will be inspirational for so many other people. And I think that someone had said this the other day. It's like, why wouldn't you send? Like, if we go through the decades and we haven't sent Frank White to space, then we're really going to regret that. As in, you could have done this. Why did we not do this?
Thank you, Eiman. Very kind of you to say that. And yeah, I was at my college reunion recently. It was my 60th.
Wow.
And yeah, I was on a panel. And let's just say that what I had to say about what I was doing was really different from every other panelist. And I was told by the moderator via email that afterward, everyone was, I can't remember if she said shocked or awed but my classmates were really surprised. And that's a good thing because, again, I think what we're talking about is inspiring people. And so I want to inspire people in their 70s and in their 80s. Don't decide life is over.
Yep.
If you just want to play golf, that's fine.
That's great. Yep.
Or if you want to hang out with your grandchildren, if that's your thing, fine. But if you'd like to take on something really challenging, don't allow the self-doubt to keep you. And you will have it if you're older. You're going to have self-doubt because society is right there to give it to you.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say one thing, Eiman. I would say half the people I've told I'm going after a commercial space flight, I'd say half of them have said, how old are you? And my answer is that's not a relevant question, but I'm 82.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I think we're going to close. I just want to say to close things off. The reason that I'm here today, I was going to be on a zero gravity flight.
Yeah.
And talking about surfing past challenges, I passed every medical test my doctor could give me, every one, and she gave me a lot of tests. And the doctors in charge of the flight did not pass me.
Yeah.
Right? So I guess it's kind of analogous to getting to the finals of the NASA thing.
Yeah.
But we're undeterred. The space flight is still on. Space flight and zero gravity flight are not the same. So we're going to keep the campaign going. And it's just another thing, kind of like your book. And again, it's called A Heart for Space. Yeah, there it is.
Check it out anywhere books are sold, but it is on the marketplace also for a few more days. But Yeah, I really appreciate everyone's support. It's 2 years since my flight this Saturday, August 29th. And
Wow.
it's been a whirlwind of 2 years. I would say I found out in April of that year I was going to fly. So really 28 months where
Wow.
my life changed in so many ways thanks to this community. Really, I mean, I have MoonDAO and the community here to thank for that. And I'm glad that I've been able to continue to be part of this group, over the last 2.5 years. And yeah, I don't know what's next, Frank. We'll see. I'm gonna support you on your flight. That's what I hope to achieve.
You need to be at my flight. Yeah, you
Yeah.
need to be there. So, yeah, and let's close. I know Ryan and Pablo are coming back. Let's just close by saying you are the second astronaut of the MoonDAO space program.
Yes.
Congratulations,
Thank
and
you.
keep up the good work and enjoy Huntsville.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And if you are in Huntsville, come check me out tonight
Yeah.
at 5 p.m. at the Beer Garden event. If you're in Nashville, check out my website. I have 3 events in the next 2 days.
Have a great time. Sell a lot of books.
Take care. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah, great,
Back.
great conversation. Unfortunately, Eiman just had a brief period of time to talk with us. I know there were some questions here in the audience that we weren't able to get to, but hopefully we can have people, ask him in the Discord, and we can have Eiman follow up. He's very responsive within the Discord community as well. So,
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be happy to answer them. Are there any questions I could answer?
let me flip through real quick. Well, one was about the audio book for Eiman's book. We have one about the requirements to be selected as a commercial astronaut and what would be recommended to become a commercial astronaut in the future. But yeah, generally the requirements are fairly low for becoming a commercial astronaut in terms of you need to meet the basic kind of health and physical requirements essentially.
Lots of money.
Lots of money. Yes,
it's mostly you need somebody like MoonDAO supporting you.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing, is find somebody like MoonDAO.
Step 1, be rich.
Yeah.
Step 1, be rich. Hopefully the price will come down here though.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. I will step out the stage. I know you have work to do.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you, Frank.
Thanks so much, Frank.
Thanks, Eiman.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Well, I think next on the agenda is the project proposal. So I've got that loaded up here. I'll just jump straight in. So, can you put that back on? Right. I added it. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So this proposal is the 9th iteration in updating the project system. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's live on the MoonDAO app. And then just for context, this will be reviewed by the MoonDAO Senate, and then it will go up for vote probably in the next few days. So look out for those updates, and then you can vote yes or no on this proposal. And the link will be provided in Discord, so don't worry about that. All right, so essentially this is a proposal to both simplify how we calculate the total rewards pool for the project system. Right now it's a somewhat complicated formula alongside a complicated, hey Ryan, I'm gonna pop you off here if that's okay. It's a somewhat complicated formula and somewhat complicated selection mechanism for choosing the winners. So this just makes it a lot more simple. We choose the top 3 projects that get passed every quarter. We also are proposing a kind of fiscally conservative measure for reducing the prize pool from 5% of the total amount of assets that the DAO has to 3% emitted every quarter. It's still quite a lot, so we're going to, it essentially reduces the prize pool down by 1/3, approximately, from 5 to 3%. And then there's also some kind of straightforward things about how the rewards are calculated for the community pool. how the retroactive pot works. And yeah, so essentially you can think of this proposal as doing two main things. One is kind of a fiscally conservative measure, and then the others are simplifications in the selection process for the approved projects and the calculation of the total rewards pool. So that is basically it. I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but the link will be provided. It's project 267. That's so. And then if you go into the Discord, you'll actually see a notification about this already, so you can click through and read it. So yeah, that's all I have. Relatively brief, and this will go up to Senate vote in the next few days. So senators, please be aware. Read through the proposal and give it some thought, and then either approve it or reject it, and then it'll go over to the member house for voting. So that's all I've got.
Cool. Thanks, Pablo. Yeah, I'm just gonna give some brief updates here from the network. Just usually kick off with these, but yeah, we had the convo with Eiman. Couple new videos. Obviously, we had the conversation last week with Dr. Alan Stern. Really awesome conversation. If you missed it last week, go watch the recording on our YouTube channel. A new feature video put together by Austin and Rosanna Zen, Sotil, and Kristen Brusky from the Space Camp Turkey event that they were doing here recently. Really cool inside look. It's a pretty amazing facility, actually. I wasn't aware that this existed before the video, but yeah, shout out to Austin for putting that video together. Check it out. They have a few shout outs for you all at the MoonDAO community, in the MoonDAO community, so love to see that. And yeah, Rosanna's got her MoonDAO shirt. You can also get one of those in the MoonDAO marketplace if you don't have one yet.
I recently got a request also for adding MoonDAO hats.
Oh yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, there's a one-of-one hat that I have, which is the sample, and then we never got more of them, so we'll have to add those soon.
I got my one-of-one hat too. When we were in Brazil, people were trying to get my MoonDAO hat as well, so I know people want them. That would be a great addition. But yeah, a couple new citizens coming through in the past week, 4 new citizens at least. Shout out to Luisa in Brazil, who we met down in Rio at the Rio event, and Rodrigo as well. We didn't meet in Brazil, but is currently in Brazil. He also based in Boston and Frank's neck of the woods, former IIAS co-chair, and does a lot of amazing stuff in the space community. Spaceman Sam, we shouted out last week. And Loretta Whitesides is our newest citizen from Spacekind and Yuri's Night, and also a future astronaut. So great to get all these people in the community. We're actually going to have Loretta here on a town hall conversation here in the next couple weeks as well. There's a new Spacekind cohort coming up in about a month from now at the end of September. So yeah, and Jabab says they want patches. Everyone's been requesting patches since forever too. So yeah, we really need to get patches in the marketplace.
I've been pushing for these things, so I will continue pushing. Going back to the slide here, I just have one comment, which is you'll notice that every single person here is someone that's doing some very interesting work and already had a successful career in space. So just want to highlight that our network really is extremely talent dense, and there's a lot of amazing individuals, and we're providing tools to connect people and get them to ideate together and then support their projects. So yeah, if you want to join the network, you can always become a citizen and join some of these amazing individuals.
Yeah, please do. If you're not a citizen yet, what are you waiting for? It's really, like Pablo was saying, one of the most talent dense networks out there. I think eight people by my last count have been to space as commercial or professional astronauts. We also have NASA astronauts like Nicole Stott within the network. But yeah, a lot of really amazing people doing amazing things, and just trying to create those connections and collaborations and, across borders within our internet space program is one of the chief goals here, not just for individuals, but also with teams and organizations and companies and startups and all that. So yeah, 244, who's going to be number 245, I guess, if you're watching here and haven't joined yet. But yeah, speaking of Rodrigo, Julio and Rodrigo put together a little astronaut forum event in Brazil, in Natal, Brazil this week. This is just kind of another independent thing that's being organized or created amongst MoonDAO citizens. They went and spoke to some students there about the space industry and opportunities there, submitted that as a contribution within the MoonDAO dashboard. So all your independent work, whatever you're doing right now, you can submit it, help get word out about what you're doing, and also get rewarded for these contributions at the end of each quarter. So yeah, viewers watching here, obviously hop in and into the dashboard or go to moondao.com/contributions and submit your work. Things like this, independent events, publications, research, hardware, whatever you're working on. It helps get eyes on the work you're doing. Communicates it to others within the network that might be able to help or collaborate and get you rewards. So it's kind of a win-win-win.
And I just want to say that it's really a grounds up organization, MoonDAO, and so if you have people in your local community that you think would be amazing fits for joining MoonDAO, you can send them a referral link and refer them and receive a little gift from us. I love seeing these kind of like local meetups. There's starting to be like density around like different cities, different areas in the world. And I feel like that's kind of a tipping point for a lot of these sorts of efforts. So organize events, get more people in the MoonDAO community and get them to join.
Yeah, I find the best growth method really is kind of like one-to-one outreach with people that you know, and then people that you know in your personal or professional lives that would be interested in what we're building here at MoonDAO with all of you, and helping them on board. Like if everyone in the network reached out to just one person and helped bring them on board, we double the size of the space program, obviously. But yeah, would love to see kind of more of that organic growth and just helping people get through. Some people have done really amazing jobs. I know we highlighted Austin last week, who's helped a number of folks in the Nashville area and within his network get onboarded as citizens here recently, which is just really, really cool to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Austin. As we've updated a couple times over the past couple weeks, we have the third executive seat special election. There was a nomination period open through the end of the day on Monday. And we had two really exceptional candidates that were nominated and confirmed their candidacy. Those are Trent Tresh, Moonshot in the Discord, and Anastasia Stepanova, Anastasia ad Astra in the Discord. At this point in time, the nominations are closed. We'll be having a Senate meeting here in the very near future just to confirm their candidacy and do a review. That's per our constitutional guidelines that a supermajority is needed for each candidate before they go up to the member house votes. We'll also be opening a portal here where everyone within the community can submit questions to candidates in an anonymous way. So any kind of thoughts you might have that you'd like to hear the candidates' perspectives on, we'll be holding a town hall on September 10th, where you can tune in and hear their vision for MoonDAO, how they might be able to help achieve that vision or help MoonDAO grow, and also get your questions answered anonymously within that format as well.
Right. And I want to say both of these candidates have led amazing projects within MoonDAO. They're people that the community knows well, and that have achieved a lot outside and within the MoonDAO community. So it's awesome to have two great candidates, and it'll be very interesting to hear their visions for MoonDAO and what they think they can achieve and bring to the table. So I'm excited to hear their thoughts and hear how we can improve MoonDAO.
Totally. And after the town hall, there'll be a voting period where the members, the member house, all of you in the MoonDAO community will get to vote and help determine, who wins this third executive seat special election. And what we mean by special election here is it's going to be filling the vacant seat for the remaining term of 2 years rather than a full 3-year term. So that's what the special election refers to here. But all to kick off their term essentially at the beginning of October when we enter a new budget cycle as well. So. Yep. Stay tuned. We'll be posting the question submission portal shortly. And well, we just talked about Eiman's book, but yeah, we'll just highlight again signed copies of Eiman's book with some other little bonus swag. It's up on the marketplace for another 5 days or so. $26. If you haven't picked up your copy yet, you can grab it there, or obviously anywhere else that books are sold, as Eiman shared. But just be sure to pick up a copy of the book here and help push Eiman to the top of the bestseller list or higher up. And we also have
already had a lot of success with launching the book, and I think he's done a great job marketing it. But last chance to get a signed autographed copy. So check that out and get it from the MoonDAO marketplace. And I do want to highlight there's an open role at MoonDAO. So we've been searching for an individual that can help lead our growth on Twitter, especially. So a lot of the space industry lives on Twitter. A lot of the crypto community lives on Twitter. And there's a big opportunity to make a huge impact in the success of MoonDAO. Growing this account and creating more awareness about what we're doing is kind of one of the most important things around what we do. It's kind of like the top of funnel. This helps grow the number of citizens that are in the platform, the number of teams, engagement with Frank's raise. There's so much that we do that is oriented towards kind of getting the word out. And so this is an extremely critical role for MoonDAO. It's one that we, you basically have a huge amount of impact within the organization. And we think that that individual could, be anywhere in the world. It would be a part-time commitment, but it'd be very focused on Twitter and growing Twitter. So if you have experience with growing Twitter accounts in the past, and you are kind of aware of what's happening in the space industry, you follow the space industry, and that you have time to give this focus, and you want to make a big impact within MoonDAO. You like what we're doing, you like our mission, and you want to see us succeed, then reach out. So you can email info@moondao.com, or reach out to me on Twitter, or there's a jobs page. We'll link that. It's already in our Discord. We've linked it on Twitter as well. We've retweeted it from the main account. We'll do another posting that's dedicated just towards this. But yeah, it's one of the most important things that we're hiring for, and one of the most crucial roles within MoonDAO. So, and if that's not you, and it's someone that you know, also please refer us. So, this is extremely important. Hard to underscore it enough.
Totally. Just kind of a little dev update to each of the marketplace items, each of the job roles. I've been pinging some of our teams, but they all have now dedicated URLs within the website with more information and a link there where you can also easily share these items. But yeah, check that out in the marketplace and in the jobs. Just click on it to get the full info. So for example, this new social media manager post has a lot of details there, a lot more kind of full built out job postings and marketplace listings, which is really cool to see. And easy to share, like I said. So you can just one click share these to X or wherever you prefer to share. But yeah, upcoming events. So next week, we're excited to have a conversation with Sharon Hagel. She's a 2-time Blue Origin commercial astronaut. She'll be speaking with Frank. She's also the lead behind Space Kids Global. We'll have the executive lead community conversation and the active project showcase on the 10th. And then we'll have Loretta Whitesides of Spacekind here on September 17th. So a lot of cool stuff coming up in the next few weeks. As we mentioned before, too, the Space Kind training is kicking off at the end of September, and you can pick that up in the marketplace as well if you're interested in finally doing the Space Kind training. But yeah, that's about it. If you're not a member, obviously go to moondao.com/join. I also did want to highlight, just before we went live, I saw a very generous contribution from Rosanna, actually, who donated $200 to the Go to Space with Frank campaign. So, you know, big shout out to Rosanna. Thank you for your generous contribution. That's still open. So yeah, anyone watching who wants to, you know, get more involved with the Send Frank to Space mission, you can do so at moondao.com/Frank. Any donation of any size helps. I see Frank here in the green, or in the back room, giving us thumbs up and clapping for Rosanna. Yes.
Let's add Frank up here.
Yeah.
If he wants to, if you want to join, Frank, you're very
yes.
welcome. Yeah, Rosanna, that's very generous of you. Thank you so much for supporting Frank.
Both clicking at the same time.
Yeah, I do want to thank her, and I just want to say, yes, the campaign is still on. We are still moving forward, and we'd love to have people continue to contribute. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Rosanna.
Yeah, thank you, Rosanna. And I want to reiterate this because I think it's important. We're very close to closing in on a stratospheric balloon. So this is, you know, we're within striking distance there of locking that in for 2 seats. I want to be very clear about that. You know, it's flying alongside Frank on a stratospheric balloon. We're close to 2 seats already. And you know, we have bigger ambitions if we keep on raising, and we'll see how those go. But yeah, it's happening. It's real. We've spoken to tons and tons of companies. We have agreements with companies, and so yeah, if you're interested in going to space with Frank, give that a look.
Yeah. Do we have a question here from Alessandro in the chat about whether you have to be a citizen to participate in competitions for funded space flights? And yes, in this case, in the Fly to Space with Frank campaign, only citizens are eligible for that candidate pool. So basically how it works is that the contributors to the campaign, people that are donating funds to support this mission, they're the ones that get a voice and a vote in kind of the candidate pool that will be eligible to go through a multi-round selection process to fly alongside Frank. So if you contribute, you don't, like, these are 2 separate fields, but if you contribute, you can vote. And if you're a citizen, you can be amongst the eligible candidate pool there. Yep. So yeah, we'd love to get you registered, Alessandro, or anyone else who's watching and wants to participate here.
And it's a small fee. If you look at it, it's like yearly, I think maybe like $25 is what it's floating at right now in ETH prices. So, you know, the price of a couple cups of coffee, depending on where you live.
Yeah.
He's gotten
price of a hamburger.
Price of a hamburger. Yeah. Price of an expensive burrito.
Exactly.
For a year of being within the MoonDAO community. And a lot of this too is so that you're connected within the platform, and you can vote and you can participate in all the other things that we're doing. Yeah, it's a step towards kind of your journey within MoonDAO. So it's yeah.
The independent rewards, the jobs board, working on projects. We've had other opportunities like analog astronaut scholarships, lots of different things that we've done throughout the past couple months, even year. So
I really want to urge everyone out there who's not a citizen, this is a really good bargain. It's a way to become part of a community that's dedicated to human expansion into the solar ecosystem, and you're going to meet great people. You're going to get great opportunities. It's really a very good investment, and I wasn't a citizen for a long time, and I'm just really glad I am. And it's not because MoonDAO is backing my flight. It's not because of that. Even if they weren't, I would be making a pitch to join. I really think it's a good investment of your time, your energy, and a small amount of your money.
Thanks, Frank. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't know that once you become a citizen, it opens up a whole portal of opportunities. And we've spent a lot of time building a platform around the citizenship. So you log in, you have a dashboard if you're a citizen of all the different things that are happening in the MoonDAO community. And as you've heard in this update, there's quite a lot of things. So yeah, consider joining. And it's as easy as ever. You don't need to have any experience with crypto or whatever. Yeah, I like, we use the tools of crypto, but we're not a crypto organization. I think that's also something really to emphasize, is that similar to any sort of company, you'd never call them a banking organization because they use banking rails. The reason we use this infrastructure is to be able to connect globally with people all over the world on a neutral playing field that is not controlled by any one entity, by any one person, by any one nation. It is truly global and can reach people from all over the world. And so that's why we've built ourselves in this way. And just need to keep repeating that until people understand.
Yeah, 244 citizens in 38 countries around the world. But also, like Pablo mentioned, there's a lot going on. We have 10 active projects right now, which means, voted on and approved by the MoonDAO community, and also funded. These are funded projects to do their work. And we have, this kind of infrastructure, this tool set allows us to easily operate and fund and work with projects around the world. So we have multiple projects in Brazil. We have one active project in Brazil. We have one in Argentina. We have one in Colombia. We have a few in the United States. We've had people working all over the world, where our citizens are. And this is really a way where we can, work in a cross-border collaborative nature for some of these incredible projects and initiatives that we're seeing kind of bubble up from within the community.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think we've reached the end of the presentation, and thanks, Frank, for joining us and jumping up again on stage. Again, big thank you to Rosanna for her very generous contribution. Yeah, I think we can close up. Thanks, everyone.
Cool.
Thanks for joining.
Yep. Thanks, everyone. Be sure to tune in next week, same time, same place, for the conversation with Sharon Hagel and Frank White. Yes. So it'll be a great one.
Awesome.
Cool. See you, everybody.
Bye.
Well,
Bye.
Our world is not in good shape. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that we, as the crew of Spaceship Earth, we're kind of doing a terrible job of being the crew.
All the astronauts say when they get up top, they're like, what are we doing?
Yeah. But explain to me what the overview effect is.
It is absolutely gorgeous. Overview effect is when you're looking through that cupola, it's like the bay window looking down on the Earth, and you see just that, the Earth as it exists with the whole universe in the background. You see the thin blue line of the atmosphere, and then when you're on the dark side of the Earth, you actually see this very thin green line that shows you where the atmosphere is. And what you realize is every single person you know is sustained and inside of that green line, and everything else outside of it is completely inhospitable. You don't see borders, you don't see religious lines, you don't see political boundaries. All you see is Earth, and you see that we're way more alike than we are different.
Booster ignition and liftoff.
The Artemis mission illustrated the difference between surface thinking and overview thinking. Seen from the surface of the Earth, we perceive difference, division, conflict. But from above the surface, we perceive unity, oneness, interconnection, and cooperation. This is an inflection point where humanity has a choice between the two. And our decision will influence life on Earth and off-world for millennia.
When I think about Frank floating and experiencing Earth out the window of a spaceship, I am totally humbled by that.
Frank White is somebody who's devoted the last 30 plus years to not only explaining what the overview effect is, but more importantly, what the implications of that shift in perspective is for our planet.
We don't often think about the ripple effect of stuff that we do. So those of you thinking of supporting Frank, it's not just about him going to space, it's the ripple effect from that experience when he comes back. And that's why we should send Frank to space.
We're inviting people to go beyond making a contribution and join the mission. It won't just be a flight, but also support for bringing the overview effect down to Earth. So join us in sending Frank to space.
Send Frank to space! And bring him back.
It's time for us to fly Frank to space.
Let's get Frank to space.
Let's send Frank to space.
We are here to say, send Frank to space.
Send Frank to space. Send Frank to space.
Send Frank to space. Get Frank to space. Send Frank to space.
To engage in supporting the project of sending my friend Frank White into space.
Let's get this guy to space. Forget about me. Let's get Frank White to space. Tell them one more time.
Let's send Frank to space.